In today's video, I'm going to talk about the worst contractors that I have ever worked with in my entire life, and I'm going to break down exactly what each person did and what you should watch out for. And as somebody who has flipped over 700 properties, been a part of over 4,000 real estate transactions, I can tell you one of the most unpredictable things about real estate is who you hire and who's going to finish the work. And even if they've done good work for you before, it doesn't mean that they're going to do good work for you in the future. So let's get into a few of those situations right now. In no particular order, Jose the Cockroach Rocha. So in July 4th of 2021, I decided to start the Millionaire Mentorship Program, which started with a contest for someone to win, for me to go and flip and fund their first deal and split the profits right down the middle with them 50-50. Now, this gentleman, his name was Joel Palacios, an electrician out of Houston, Texas, who won the contest. We identified the home. It had a potential of $60,000 to $80,000 profit, and we found it from a local wholesaler. Here's where things got tricky. One of the things that I told Joel, said we need to find a contractor. Here's the budget. He said, I got a guy. His name is Jose Rocha. He was a referral from Joel's uncle. We made one major mistake and we didn't Google the damn dude. Because if you do that with Jose Rocha, you're gonna see that this ain't his first time. So let's talk about how things went wrong. So first of all, I instructed Joel, once we walked through the property, we were gonna add one wall and keep pretty much everything the same. Keep the same cabinets in all the bedrooms, in all the bathrooms, everything, repaint them, some new countertops on them, put some new sinks, put some new lights, paint the house, change out the windows, be done. We got a bid all in with material, $35,000. First thing that happens, I get a call from Joel and he says, hey, I just want to let you know that they really could not save the cabinets. And this is the guy who wanted to replace the cabinets the whole time. So I made a specific conversation with Joel and I said, Joel, I want you to remember this moment in time. That may have been an oversight. Maybe he forgot to tell his guys that we're keeping those cabinets. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he's a referral, but if you see anything else that happens with this guy that resembles this same thing, let me know because we're moving on. Well, that didn't happen. Joel continued to watch things happen and continued to not let me know. And I know it was because he was nervous, he was embarrassed, he was scared, he just didn't want to let me down. And I understand that and I completely empathize with him. But the reality was this guy got preyed on by Jose the Cockroach. And Jose had him so confused. And the best scam artists really do. They got you thinking like, oh man, this guy hasn't paid me enough money. And so finally, when this guy asked for his last demand of money, I said, we're not paying you another nickel. And in fact, if you don't do this, we're gonna file a state contractors board. This guy ended up costing us roughly about $40,000. We actually still made a profit. We made a profit of about $23,000, but we should have made a profit between $63,000 and $83,000. We had actually had Jonathan, who ended up finishing the property for us, and Jonathan ended up working out good for a couple properties. All of these things that happened with Jose Rocha, anytime they would have happened to me, I would have said, this guy's fired. I had another guy involved who was learning and felt like he was letting me down. And so obviously those lessons were learned multiple times from the new person. We ended up making a profit on the deal, but this guy has continually ripped people off, and he's one of the worst types of people there are. And if I hadn't known what I was doing, we would have got ripped off for a lot more money and probably lost a ton of money. The guy literally gutted everything in the property and started all the way brand new over. And basically, because Joel was an electrician by trade, we were able to avoid a lot of costly mistakes, but he was one of the worst contractors that I have encountered. And the thing that made him so bad is that he's done this just to so many people before. Now, we did a video, and actually it's kind of funny. Today, I actually met with a concrete guy at my house to go, and I was complaining to him about all the bad freaking decisions that this guy did. And there were so many signs, and I'm really disappointed at myself. And in fact, one of the things that we do not do a lot of as house flippers is pour concrete. You pour concrete when you build a house, you pour concrete on a driveway, but on my primary house, I really wanted to have a concrete driveway. The first guys that ended up doing our concrete in the basement weren't bad guys, they just weren't great guys. And so we needed to find somebody who was a little bit more willing. And so we actually found the concrete guy from one of the guys that we knew that had done some dirt work for us over there. And this guy ended up being the biggest scumbag ever. And the funny thing is, the same thing applies here. We did not Google him. If you Google William Lahn concrete, please do it right now. Pause the video and Google this guy. Kansas City, Missouri. You're gonna see he's actually had news stories about him. So we actually confronted this this guy. I told him, I gave him multiple chances to make this thing right. I called him, I filed attorney general complaints against the guy. I've done everything that I could do. And finally we had to confront the guy, and he just ran away, threatened to sue me with his attorney. And he is actually probably one of the worst concrete contractors I've ever met with. Where did he screw up? He did work that he didn't know what to do. We had to redo some of his work, and we're still having to deal with not great quality. We've got several areas where water just kind of sits because there's not enough fall on the concrete, and it cost me a lot of money. He blamed me for everything. You can check out the video, but William, the concrete conman, is absolutely one of the biggest scumbags in the entire world. A liar, a thief, a cheat. Everything is wrong with him. And if I could give him the worst type of rating, I'd call him worst concrete conman of the year. Number 3, Caruthers Electrical. So Blake contacted me when we were looking for an electrician on our investment properties. This was a young guy growing his electrical business, and I actually took a liking to Blake. You know, he was a nice guy, showed me about electrical, taught me his trade, and gave me great pricing initially. He was willing to go to St. Joe, was willing to go here, was willing to go there. But one thing about Blake is he was really having a bad picker. He didn't know how to pick partners. He constantly bounced to partner to partner to partner. So finally, he picked this partner, and this guy's name is Jordan. Jordan Land. You can Google Jordan Land. Quotes to be a licensed contractor and owns some of Caruthers Electrical. But let's talk about how things went sideways. So initially, I had somebody else called Shane who was supposed to be wiring the house. We had an electrical plan with him. He got COVID during the whole process. We ended up having to move to another electrician. I did trust Blake to get the job done right. I asked Blake a few questions, which we have them all recorded. I said, are you working on your own right now? Yes. Are you working with new constructions? Cool. Are you licensed to do this? Yes. Are you still partners with Jordan? Well, Jordan, previous to that, had threatened me. Okay. He'd been trying to get my business, which is weird. And then since he couldn't get my business, he tried to threaten me. So I said, if you're partners with that guy, I don't want to work with you on this job. I hope you understand. He's like, no, I'm not working with that guy anymore. We've gone our separate directions. Well, what do you know? I start getting texts. I start getting phone calls from Jordan. Lets me know that unbeknownst to me, I have signed up to hire his company, Caruthers Electrical, to do my work. So now I'm in bed with the devil. The devil calls me. He threatens to do all these things. They're still bothering me to this day, even though I have them blocked on every forum. And these are probably some of the biggest scuzzbags in the world. This guy is an absolute loser. Tried to beat me up on my property.
I don't want to hear you. You're going to be trespassed in about 2 minutes. He's out there screaming, provoking things.
Troy, we were laughing the whole time getting your money, okay? We were laughing the whole time getting your money.
You know, just a complete total douchebag. We paid this guy money in full and never heard the end of it. What a piece of crap we are. And people are just projecting, right? So Caruthers Electrical, definitely up there. Definitely one of my most heated exchanges with a contractor on site in the snow with these two douchebags trying to do a final walkthrough, which we recorded the whole damn thing. Last but not least, and unfortunately, we had such hope for this guy. We actually even gave him a nickname. His name was Super Mario. Let's talk about what happened with Super Mario. Actually, one of my field reps at that point in time found this person. They knocked through a few properties real quick for us, did a great job. And then Mario separated from the rest of his family and kind of started doing his own thing. And we noticed that Mario's quality of work continued to go down. And so we continued to put him on smaller and smaller jobs because really he just wasn't doing anything up to snuff, and it didn't seem like he was himself. So then all of a sudden we find out one of our contractors, Eric or Mookie or 48, had been making purchases at Home Depot that my assistant had accidentally approved. There was just a few of them, but there was a paint sprayer, there was a couple other things, several thousands of dollars that Super Mario went and did a phone sale because he knows exactly how we do stuff. He did a phone sale, he knows who the contractors are we work with, under Eric's name, who was working on a job with us, that we approved. So Mario stole stuff from us by impersonating somebody else. The case is still pending. We have a court filed with him, but Super Mario ended up being a super deadbeat. Those are all of the contractors. Let me know what you do with the last one. We have an investigation ongoing with him right now where he basically did a scam with his phone sale, impersonating somebody else and then getting us to approve it. So now he's not only wanted by Troy Kearns, he doesn't only have a police report by Troy Kearns, but he's also got one from Home Depot. Some words of wisdom for you is Google your contractor. If they screw up, fire them. If they've burned you once, they'll burn you again. Follow your gut instincts. Things don't get better. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you're investing in real estate. Even with all the negatives that happened to me, I still think it's one of the best things that I've ever done, which is investing in real estate. And I still got some of the best contractors. We always got to chat them. We always got to babysit them. And done is not done. Today is not today. And tomorrow is not tomorrow. And 6 weeks is not 6 weeks. You just got to ride these guys and make sure that get things done on your timeline, that you don't pay them in advance, that you put things that you do pay in advance on a credit card so that you can dispute it later. Make sure you get started investing in real estate. I'd love to hear your comments in the comment below. Peace!